Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We're happy to bring you the first ever Bad Throws, Good Bros disc golf coverage this weekend.
Today we are at Walter Frederick Morrison Disc Golf Course at Creekside, our local course. Here's a look at our leaderboard. Kai Kim sitting at 16 under, with Bryce Brunike sitting at 13 under, Cameron Messerschmidt at 12 under, and rounding off our lead card, Joseph Kozlowski. What a group of fellas this is. Dave, talk me through hole one here.
Hole one is a big bomber off the tee, 474 feet. Plays pretty flat, even though there's the hill there. The pin's up high right. Got to get a big turnover line out there. You don't want to be too far right because the road does play as OB. Getting inside C2 is key here.
Yeah.
On the box, your leader at 16 down. Right now, Creekside open, Kai Kim.
Please ignore the horrendous intros by me. It was my first time ever, and I kind of got a little lost.
Hey, that's okay. Kai Kim on the box, cheating lefty himself. Looking for the big hyzer, a little low out of his hand.
Yeah, he wants some more height. You could see him trying to lift the disc, but he gets within C2, and I think that's kind of where you need to be.
For sure.
Next on the box at 13 down, we have Bryce Grunike.
Bryce, we see him at Creekside all the time. Great guy. Doesn't play in a whole lot of tournaments, but plays Creekside pretty often, and he's opting to go with the forehand here.
Yeah, I think this is the smart play if you're going for par. Just get something out, have it sit on the hill. Don't risk that OB right or fading left early with the turnover line. Puts you in a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
Next on the card, we have Cameron Messerschmidt at 12 down right now.
Damn, hailing out of Washington. He's been playing all over. He's touring pro. Great to see him out here at Creekside playing with our little local community.
Yeah, super awesome. Cameron actually asked the card, specifically Joe, what he should throw here, and it was a roller. Joe said go with the roller, and
Can't really see behind him, but it stood up and just hit a log right in front of where Kai landed, so he'll be right there in C2 as well.
Yep.
That line kind of scares me because that hillside can kind of push down a little bit.
Kozlowski at 11 under. Go, Joey.
Joey, coming off a great Utah State's performance, would end up going to a playoff with Kessler Martin, and Joey would unfortunately lose the playoff to finish in second place, but what a weekend he had up at Brighton.
Yeah, and we see him go with the big turnover line here. This is my favorite line to kind of throw. Hopefully it can pan out. You see the nose get down just a little early and cut roll. He should be in a good spot for a putt, though.
Yep. As these guys walk over to their drives, Dave, what are we excited for?
Excited for a lot of good shots today. Got to hit lines out here in Creekside. There's not too much OB to worry about, but there is on a couple holes. And the other big thing is you got to be making your edge of circle putts. That's really key to winning today is having your putt be on. As we see Joey just go a little long on his.
A little long for Joey. You'll see Kai just outside circle here. He's normally pretty good from this range, so we'll see what he has.
Yeah, it's a little uphill first putt of the day. Leaves it just a little low and left. Thought it was good out of his hand, just didn't glide far enough.
Cameron, looks like he's going for the straddle jumper.
Yeah, just about a foot or two in front of where Kai was. See if he can be our solo birdie for the morning. Ooh, just a little high.
Just a little high and right. As these guys tap out for par, we want to give you a quick preview and talk about our scorecards down below. You'll see Kai is a different outline color than the rest of the card. That is because he is our outright leader. A blue is birdie, a purple is bogey, a gray is par. Hopefully we don't see anything worse than bogey today.
Yeah, I don't think these guys will have too many problems here at Creekside. The layout's pretty open for them, and they're really good at disc golf.
Dave, we had a great time filming this. I can't wait to watch it behind the camera.
Ian, hole 2.
Hole 2. So this is a big downhill dogleg left. You don't want to go early left or hit any of these trees on the right side. You see where that that tree is slanted over to the right. You want to get through that above or under and just have something fade left. 334 feet. Right where the drone is now is about a good landing zone. If you can get over those trees, it is a birdie look, but you might be a little more pinched off.
Yeah, we see Kai go with the forehand here. Turns it a little more than I think he wanted to, and just catches one of those trees on the right side there. It was looking like a good shape.
Yeah, this lines up really well for a stock hyzer. There is a turnover line up the gut to the left of this tree.
Yeah. We saw Bryce look at that forehand line, and I think he was just like, no, that's a little too risky. He opts for the turnover through that gap, though, which I've thrown that a couple times, and it's really touchy, so it's hard to get down to where he did with that line.
Cameron stepping up to the box here. This is one of his go-to mid-ranges. Opting for the hyzer line, maybe a little inside and a little low.
Yeah. It'll get you up to right before that little island. I think your ideal spot is getting onto that island.
Joey up next.
Joey also going with the hyzer play out to the right there. These guys are making that gap look much wider than it is. It is only 4 or 5 feet wide up on top of that tee pad.
I caught a little early. Cameron was actually talking him through this gap. Kai, being the lefty, didn't quite have a spike hyzer putt with his left hand, so Cameron helped him spot that gap, and Kai is just going to lay up for his par.
Yeah, that was a great layup through those trees. It's a little touchy there, so nice to see him make that.
Bryce, a little right, but also off to layup, which from where he's at is the right decision. You should never be running that.
You have the low ceiling with that tree there. You could see with Joey, it looks a little more open, but he still has a low ceiling as well. Kind of just punches it through, takes his par.
Smart play. And Cam just a few feet in front of Joey. You think he's trying to run this?
I don't know if he's trying to run it. I think he's just trying not to hit his head on that log.
Yeah.
Like
he did say that was one of the most awkward putts he's ever had in disc golf.
Yeah, just kind of like a little straddle. Like you want to jump, but you can't because it's right above you. These guys are all tapping out their easy pars for them. Hard not starting off too hot. Pars all around.
My name is Ben Maroff. I'm the owner of Another Round Salt Lake City. Welcome into the shop. The community here in Salt Lake City is far and away the most passionate and welcoming community that I've ever been a part of.
Man, good to see you again.
It's been a really rewarding experience and just like a ton of fun and creative and challenging. It's been everything I've wanted it to be.
We have par 3. This is a tee pad we don't normally play from up on the pavilion. The big turnover line or forehand spike. There is a Mando out left protecting 4's tee pad there. You kind of just want to get around something and land just short of the basket there. Give yourself a look about C2.
Kai, up first. Would love to start his round here.
Yeah, he's got the big lefty, which plays much better than the forehand, in my opinion. Get real close to that tree.
And Dave, this is your first catch cam of the day.
It is. Took a big flare skip towards the basket. Great shot out of Kai. He should be looking at birdie easily there.
The catch cams are brought to you by David Nelson himself.
I tried my best to get hit. That was my goal out there.
The catch cams you do see are when we can actually see the shots. If we couldn't see the shots on the GoPro, which was our catch cam, you won't see them.
Yeah. Bryce fades out just a little bit early there with the forehand. He'll have a look at the basket, probably about 80 to 100 feet.
Cam, up next.
Also going with the forehand line here. We saw some people go through the right of the tree on a flex forehand. but he opts to go wide, and that flipped up on him.
He was saying that was the first time that disc had flipped on him all week.
Yeah, he misses the Mando there. He's going to have to go to a drop zone.
Joey up next. Can he capitalize on Cameron's mess up? Opting the forehand.
Goes wide as well, but that looks like it has a bit more stability to it.
And actually gets caught up by the grass. It doesn't get that big flare skip we normally expect. Just stops.
Yeah, came up a little bit short, but he's in a good spot.
And from the drop zone for par. From the camera angle, it looks like a wide open putt, but that limb hangs down just a little more than you would want.
With really close run with that flex forehand there. Going from about 60 feet. Gives
Just-
it a good bid, but just a little short.
Just a little short. Bryce, from his tee shot, this actually pushed up a little more than I thought it would.
Yeah, kind of that right side where the short pin normally is. And just kind of lays it up a little short. Never really had the height.
Kai tapping in his birdie.
Yeah, for Kai, those 20 to 20 footers are tap ins. He's just automatic from that range, I feel like.
Yep. Joey will tap out his par.
Taking his time with his putts. Love to see that. Making sure you're making those easy ones.
Bryce will also tap out his par.
How'd you feel about the temporary tee pad here on 3?
I quite enjoyed it for the pros. I think it makes 3 a very fun hole. I'm glad we didn't play it in the AMs.
Yeah.
But moving on to hole 4, Dave, what do we have?
We have a nice tight double Mando off the tee. Really shouldn't come into play for these guys. OB follows the logs that you can see there. Basket playing just to the right, 249 feet. There is some OB long of the basket and to the right side where the logs don't protect it. So you got to make sure to land something kind of soft.
Yeah. Kai throwing a putter.
Yeah, let's see if he can capitalize on that last birdie that he just got.
Looks a little inside, Dave.
It does. Let's see if that can land softly. And it looks like it skips just a little long.
So I will have a comebacker for par.
You see Bryce opting for the forehand. This is kind of my play on this hole.
I like this play a lot. If you have a consistent forehand, especially where this pin position is, the forehand is definitely the more open and safe shot.
Yeah, that left side's pretty open. Just get something stable to come back. You see that skip right towards the basket.
That is a great shot. Joe up next, also opting for the forehand.
Yep. You're just trying to get something down that alley about 220 feet and just have it kind of fade a little bit. It looks pretty overstable, a little flexed out of his hand, taking a big skip and roll. I think that stays just in bounds on that right side there, Ian.
That's a great shot from Joe. Maybe a little long, but he will take that all day.
Yeah. We see Cam. He started to line up that backhand, and he was like, it's a little tight. Let me go with the safe forehand line here.
Same mid he was throwing on the last hole. This looks a little early.
Yeah, very straight. Just catches that tree that you got to beat before the basket. He'll still have a look at the basket, though.
Awkward straddle.
Yeah, probably about 43, 45 feet. Gives it a good run, just a little bit right.
Right side, a little low. Joey up next.
Yeah, he just stayed in bounds there by that tree. You could see the flags right behind him, marking the OB line. Just a little low as well.
Little low from Joey. Want a little more height on that. Kai did go OB. This is for his par putt.
Yeah, he's about, what you say, close to 30 feet here?
Yeah, edge of circle.
Yeah.
And just a little left side from him.
Yeah, just leaked a little left out of his hand, and Chains didn't want to catch on that one.
Here Bryce's for his birdie.
Yep.
That was a great tee shot.
He played it exactly as you want. Just a nice soft forehand, pushed long enough. Great birdie. Taking a stroke on the whole card.
Cam for par. No worries there.
No. And we'll see Joey and Kai. Joey tapping out his par. Kai with a bogey here. Big 2-stroke swing for Bryce.
Yep.
Cut
So-
Kai's lead down to 2.
Taking the birdie away. Here we are, hole 5, 269 feet straight ahead. If you trust a straight disc through this small gap, I say go for it. But the hyzer play around that left tree is more what you're looking for, whether it's a lefty backhand or a righty forehand.
Yeah. This pin, it looks like it's an easy spot to get to, but that one tree right in the middle is just a magnet.
It is. Bryce opting for the forehand, going
Yep.
around that guardian tree.
It just landing right in front of the mound and sliding on top. You can't throw it any better than
No,
that.
that is great. Joey opting with the backhand.
And we see him going right at that tree. Like I said, that thing is a magnet. It just pulls disc towards it somehow.
It does. Cameron, looking at this backhand line,
Yeah, you kind of got to go either a very straight or something that has just a little bit of fate or turn to it. I think I'm normally throwing my candy here. He goes dead straight down the middle, slides up the hill a little bit, be about a 25 footer from the left side there.
that hill's scary too, because if you go long, you have a big uphill putt coming back.
Yeah. Just a lefty backhand, hoping that hyzer's in. Takes a skip off the hill, down on the backside. I don't think he skipped too far, so he should avoid the trees there.
Joey for birdie. Opts to just lay up.
Smart play there. You don't want to run this and go long and be back in a tree somewhere. Kai has an open look here, just on the backside of that hill.
This is in Kai's range.
He
Drains.
catches it.
Great
Birdie.
putt. Great putt from Kai.
Comeback birdie you needed after that bogey.
Yep.
That's a scary putt, too, because if you miss, you're going another 30 feet long.
Cameron stepping up for his birdie look. I like how he takes his time lining up these putts. Steps away, didn't like it. Comes back.
Drains it.
Great putt.
It's smart taking your time on those, because those are the ones that you have to be making out here. You can't miss those easy birdie putts.
Joey will tap in a par.
We finally get to the best drive of the day.
So
Bryce.
far.
So far. Easy tap in for birdie.
Doesn't even have to take his bag off. Those are always good for fielding drives.
Yep. Takes us to hole 6. Beautiful hole here. Kind of a tight gap off of the tee. It plays in what we call the Kraken position here. Taking a hard right into a fallen tree that kind of just surrounds the basket. You just got to get something to flare skip out right. We'll see most of these righties go with the back or forehand, and Kai obviously with a backhand, usually with a faster disc because you really need to get that flare skip.
You do. And this is a tricky gap because you do have a tree kind of right where at least I like to aim.
Yep.
And that's a great shot from Bryce.
Yeah, we see these guys just, that's really all you're looking for is get the disc vertical, get through that tree gap there and as far right as you can.
And faster disc as well.
Keeps it real nice and low. Takes that nice big flare skip vertically, rolls right out to me.
Wow, that is a great shot.
Yeah. He got the perfect roll away too, like towards the basket.
Kai, lefty backhand.
Funny story on this one. Joey actually gave Kai that disc before the round started. Takes a nice flare skip. We see him right in the position you want to be.
Right in the cracking. Joey's giving Kai a little something for using that disc.
Yeah. You gotta take advantage of him when you can, you know?
Mhm. Joey lining up the forehand. This is from this back pad, there are 2 pads here.
Ooh,
It is a
that's
little tighter.
a lot of angle there. Gets the flare, but catches an early tree.
Catches an early tree, and this is where I have my first mess up. I double click record and did not get any of their putts. Joey would make a great edge of circle putt.
The other 3 easy tap ins.
Yep. Hole 7, Par 3, 296 feet. Basically the same shot, just disc wants to go the other way.
Yeah, we're going left instead of right.
Little downhill.
Trying to get a nice flare skip here. So we'll see a couple faster discs getting hard left here. That one took a nice big flare skip, a little long of the basket on that one. Usually going mid to fairway here, just something that you know wants to get out.
I personally like the mid, and trust a little higher to get left, whereas some people will trust the fairway a little more to throw it a little lower and get the skip down into the trees.
Yeah, there is a Mando on this hole, but I don't think anybody really tries to fight it.
It's
You
just
see, you see Cam with a big skip there. Nice roll towards the basket. Absolutely parks it.
beautiful. The Mando is just there to keep you away from hole 6 and one of the tee pad locations on hole 6. So
Yeah. Kai going with a forehand. Gets just in front of that tree. Takes a nice big skip towards the basket. He'll have about an edge of circle look.
it's a good shot from Kai. He probably wanted a little more inside, but he'll take that all day.
Yeah, you kind of need to get something that goes left and doesn't push too far straight.
Joey opting for the backhand. Just looking to put something through the gap and make it get left.
And for any of you old Creekside locals, you'll remember this hole as the gong hole because the tree to the right there used to have a nice gong on it.
Wow.
See, take a nice big flare skip and roll towards the basket right next to Cam's disc there.
Those are two amazing shots. Those are tap-in birdies for those guys.
Oh yeah, it always feels good when you don't have to make a putt on a hole.
Bryce, after his long drive, looking for the birdie putt.
Oh, just catches that last tree that was in his way. Gave it a good bid.
Kai, also a little deep, but has a better look at the basket.
Yeah, this is that distance that it just seems to be lights out from. Just drains a putt. Beautiful birdie from him.
Great birdie from Kai.
Yeah, he's just lights out from that distance. Love his stroke there.
Bryce tapping in his par. Cam and Joey walking up, having a little chuckle with each other as they tap in their birdies after two amazing drives.
That was the second drive in a row that Cam tried to hit me with.
All right, hole 8. We have a par 3, 387 feet. It's really just a big stock hyzer. You want to land low of this hill and get to about where Dave is standing when we film this.
Yeah.
And hope to have a putt.
Top of the hill plays Zobi. The tee pad kind of forces you more right, so you really got to cut this more inside than you think. We have Kai going with the turnover line instead of the forehand.
And it looks a little inside, Dave.
Yeah, it leaked a little left. I saw this thing cut through those two big trees, land OB, and rolls back in.
Wow, that is the luck you need on a disc golf course every once in a while.
Yeah, it was a little too inside. That could have easily hit a tree and came straight down OB, but he rolled back in nice and safe.
Cameron looking at this big spike hyzer line. Looks good. Testing that first limb, which you kind of have to do. Trying to kill you again, Dave.
Yeah, he just had a magnet towards me. He kept aiming for me. I didn't even see that disc because it's pretty clear. Until it was about 10 feet from me, and I just had to dodge it.
Well, good dodging skills, sir. Good
Thank
dodging
you.
skills.
It's a great spot to land. I mean, he knew where he was throwing. Joey also going for the big hyzer here. I don't think anybody's really going to risk that forehand. You'd have to throw it on so much angle.
And this looks wide from Joey. Does it beat the hill?
Pushed a little straight. That grass right now is extra thick, so it just stayed up there. Inbounds, but scary look at the basket. Big downhill putt.
Yep. Bryce also looking at this backhand line.
Yeah, let's see if he can keep it a little more inside.
How high, ideally, would you like to go off this tee shot?
You're throwing pretty high and pretty inside. You see that just top of the trees. Looks a little close on the inside, but is a perfect shot. If that took a little skip towards the basket, great. But digging right there, he's probably got a 20-footer for birdie.
Awesome. Joey, our farthest man out, up on the hill.
Yeah, he's probably, 20 feet up above the basket.
Mm,
Giving it a soft layup there.
that's smart. Cam here.
A little bit closer, not as awkward as Joey. It's just outside the circle, giving it a jump bid.
Wow, he really jammed that in there. He wanted that one.
Yeah, that disc wasn't allowed to not go in.
Mm-hmm. Hi, after the lucky drive.
Yeah, he's gotta make sure to really capitalize on these, especially after rolling back inbounds there.
Takes his time. Does his putting routine. Dead center chains.
Great putt out of Kai.
Great putt. That
Four in a row.
4 great birdies in a row, too. Bryce for his birdie. 10, 15 feet?
Probably about 15, 20, yeah. He's close enough that he's definitely going to be making those.
Awesome. As we approach our final hole here, Joey's tapping out his par after the smart layup. Our front 9 so far, Dave. What are we liking?
It's been a really good scoring round. A lot of guys keeping it clean out here. We got hole 9 playing to a temporary basket, 292 feet up the hill here. OB, long right. You'll see me imitating the basket there. You kind of want to throw either a forehand just into the hill, or if you're going to go the risky backhand line, make sure it doesn't come back down.
Awesome. We see Cam lining up the forehand here. I really like this play. And you want to make sure it hits the hill before the crest and just sticks.
Yep, that looks perfect. A little underneath the crest of the hill, rolled up on top there. Probably about 20, 25 feet from the basket.
Testing the OB a little bit, but he'll be okay with that.
Yeah, given the old ski sign, good to go.
Mm-hmm. Hi. Looks like he's throwing some sort of putter. Big spike hyzer for him.
Yeah, that's got to make sure that doesn't go too long. Looks like it's hitting the top of the hill and just rolls OB on the backside there.
That is a danger with throwing it too high on the hill. You do get that skip and possible roll away.
Yep.
Bryce opting with the forehand. His forehand is so smooth.
It is. He just lets it out so nice. And that looks like it's hitting perfectly onto the hill there. Just stays. He'll have a nice 20-footer as well. That's the key to this hole, is just you can't get over the hill there.
Mm-hmm. Joey also lining up the forehand. Looks like he's going with a little bit faster of a disc, too.
Yeah, probably. I would go something pretty stable. Just make sure it gets into the hill.
Mm-hmm.
That looks high.
This looks very high.
Takes a big skip off the top of the hill and goes OB as well. Those guys should have easy comebackers for par, though.
Mm-hmm.
That OB is pretty close to the basket.
Cameron for birdie. Great putt.
Little left side, but sneaks it in.
Little left side. On this 10 basket, you do need to putt a little softer than you do on a black hole.
Yeah.
Hi. Great par save out of him from the OB.
Yep. Just making sure you don't give up another stroke here. Joey also pretty close after going OB.
Jams it in there. He has a very Matty O-esque come from the chest. Push, punch, putt, whatever you would like to call it.
Yeah, I noticed that out of him. And then Bryce for the bird.
Great birdie.
Great holes out of these guys.
Well, guys, after 9, here's what our leaderboard looks like. Kai came at 20 under. Bryce at 18. Cameron Messerschmidt at 16. Dylan Lloyd jumping up from the chase card into 4th. And Joseph Kozlowski down into 5th.
Yeah, it's a tight race here. We'll see how these guys do on the back 9.